I love walking the studio. You know, every time I come here, I get a feeling of joy, a feeling of creation. I feel very fortunate that I have the studio to work in, to create. It's not been very long that glass blowers have been able to just produce what they want to produce. It's really started around the 60s, and prior to that it was just in factories where people couldn't walk in and go to the studio, go to the furnace, and just create the objects that they wanted to make. It was all production. So, you know, it's very important to me to have a creative space with a lot of energy. So now I'm just getting it hot enough so that I can blow it out. You give it a quick block, start to paper and blow. Get it nice and even. Now ready. I feel I've always been an artist. I feel that I grow more and more as an artist every day. You know, so over the last couple of years, I think my thoughts have really improved and grown and become more of, you know, a way for me to express what I'm trying to convey to the audience through glass. Main thing you want to do when you're, you know, lighting up the glory holes, make sure that you've got enough gas. Make sure you don't light the torch near the propane tank. Voila! Color chips that I'm going to be using today to make some plates, some bowls, some different pieces to create an installation that I'm thinking about placing outside of the studio. Got to move the marker over here so I can put the chips on. A lot of the pieces that I make are very plate-like, bowl-like that I hang on the wall. I keep them pretty versatile, so that, you know, they could be used either as a bowl or on the wall. So I gotta set the chips up before it gets too hot outside, so I'm just gonna lay the pattern out. I like the fact of them being on the wall for the sake that, you know, I'm very interested in painting and I sort of view them as paintings. Sometimes what I'll do with the plates is I'll group several of them together to making collages on the wall and arrays of color. Now to transfer, I gotta flash it, give it enough heat so that it doesn't cool down too much while I transfer. Every piece, you know, takes an extreme amount of energy, it takes an extreme amount of focus. This part is very crucial. I need to make this plenty. I need to make this fast enough so that the piece doesn't cool down too much. If it cools down too much, then it cracks. With glass blowing, or probably with anything, it takes an extreme amount of discipline to really become fluent and you know, accomplished at it. So with every piece that I'm making, I pour a lot of energy into it. The energy in the studio is really important to keep a high energy, a high positive attitude to be able to perform. Even though I'm performing in the studio, typically for myself, occasionally with another assistant or two, even though I'm in there and I'm performing or working, creating, you know, I still look at it as very much a performance that I'm trying to perfect. This is a crucial point. You gotta do this fast. Let the glass pull enough that it breaks. If it gets too cold, put it in the furnace, the fire, then it breaks, then it cracks, it explodes. I try to perfect my movements, the dance, the energy level that
all is involved in being able to create glass.
Right now we're going to spin it out, get it hot, turn it into the plate. It looks like it touched down.
With all the energy that goes in, sometimes you still have failure.
Sometimes it happens. When it does, start over.
So when I'm learning new techniques, when I'm trying and developing my skill with different techniques, I go through quite a learning curve of having to produce and having several floor models. Sometimes, it could take me 100 times to really come up with the design and the concept of being able to create a piece that I can actually put out there.
You can see up to at any point you can have failure. It's just at the end, and everything was going very smooth. But I lost it. The thing folded on itself, I got a little hot, and I lost it.
So, with all the pieces that I make, there's quite a bit more that never really reach the public.
Got about 6-7 more to do to complete the installation, and I think they could go better. I really think these pieces need to be flatter in order to fit on the installation, so I'm going to make them a little more plate shaped than bowl shaped.
When I learn a new technique, then I end up, doing it over and over and over. And it's a big learning curve at the beginning. It takes a little while to become familiar with it, and as you progress, then your success rates get higher.
So at this point I've got all the color set up. Now I need to start blowing it. So I'm going to start the initial bubble.
It's just going back in the shop, trying to emulate what I've learned, either in a class or an apprenticeship, and trying it over and over and over until I get it.
There it went.
And then somehow convey it into my own ideas and concepts. Sometimes I'll just be walking and I'll see a tree that reminds me of the technique that we learned at this class or that apprenticeship, and I go back to the shop and I try to emulate it and produce it. So the pieces we've been working on now recently, making a lot of gold pieces and amber color pieces to group in an installation, in a three-dimensional installation, as opposed to being on the wall outside in the field behind the studio, to kind of bring together a little bit of mysteriousness of this man-made object within this beautiful field of grass and trees and auburn colored leaves.
Now we're going to use centrifugal force, heat, and gravity to shape this piece. We're going to slowly cool it overnight. Toss it in, give it a little tap, comes right off.
I'm really interested in nature in plant life and trees, so I thought this would be a really great place to set the installation, especially since the leaves are all changing, the grass is changing. I thought this would be a really fabulous place to set it up.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
So I'm really excited about what comes to this installation. I feel like, you know, whatever does come, I know that I'm going to grow as an artist. I'm going to learn and be able to take this into the next project or installation.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.